execute the programs again. Just you see. I'll open server. See this PC, C drive, program files, Apache Software Foundation, Tomcat 10, bin. Here, Tomcat 10, double click. Here, you'll get a message, server startup in milliseconds. Server startup in milliseconds. Say, server startup in milliseconds. Once if you get this message, server is working properly. You can minimize. You can run the program. http://, localhost 8082 first test. Then first solid executed. Okay. Second solid, what I given? Second. Okay. See, second solid. Now, these programs how to write in Eclipse. That is I'm going to explain. Okay. These programs how to write in Eclipse, I'll explain. Now, first I'll start the Eclipse. No done. First of all, you have to configure Tomcat server. No done. To configure Tomcat server in Eclipse. To configure Tomcat server in Eclipse. To configure Tomcat server in Eclipse. To configure Tomcat server in Eclipse, now, first you have to open Java EE perspective. But JDBC, which perspective you open? Java perspective. For this one, Java EE perspective you have to open. How to open perspective study? No. What you have to do? Window, perspective, open perspective, other. Here, Java EE. That is already you studied. Okay. First, open Java EE perspective. Open Java EE perspective. Open Java EE perspective. It is the first step. How to configure Tomcat server in Eclipse. Okay. How to configure Tomcat server in Eclipse. First, open Java EE perspective. Say here, this is, I'll close. This is also I'll close. See how to open window, perspective, open perspective, other. Then Java EE, open. This is Java EE perspective. Okay. In Java EE perspective, here, server's view is there, no? Server's view. On this server's view, you have to click. Next, write it. Click on server's view. Click on server's view. Click on servers view. To configure Tomcat server in Eclipse, first open Java EE perspective. Next, click on servers view. Say, like this is you have to click. After this, right click in servers view, click on new, click on server. Right click in a servers view. Next, click on new. Next, click on server. Open Java EE perspective. Click on servers view. Right click in a servers view. Click on new. Click on server. Now, today, what I'm going to teach, these all now you have to practice. Okay. Like that is whatever I explained yesterday, day before yesterday, that is understanding purpose I given like that. Now you have to practice like this. Now, see, open Java EE perspective, click on servers view, right click in a servers view, click on new, click on server. See, now this is I'll close. Manually open, that is. These programs also you have seen. I'll close this all. Now, here, say it is Java EE perspective. In a Java EE perspective only this server appears. Servers. Okay. In Java EE perspective only servers view will be there. This is servers view. In this servers view, right click, new, server. You'll get a one dialog box. You'll get a one dialog box. Now here many are there, no? These are servers related. You have to click on Apache. You have to expand Apache. Next, write it. Expand Apache. Expand Apache. Expand Apache. Expand Apache. Once if you expand, it shows a list of versions. You observe. Tomcat version 3.2, 4.0, 4.1, 5.0 like that. Now, in my system, Tomcat 10 installed. Suppose in your system, Tomcat 10.1 installed, but it is not showing 10.1. Then you update Eclipse. You update Eclipse. Okay. Otherwise, you take Tomcat old. Tomcat new, Eclipse old. It may not support. That is the reason I downloaded Tomcat version 10.0. Otherwise, you download Tomcat 10.0. Suppose Tomcat 10.1 is there, but Eclipse is old is there. Then it may not support. Otherwise, before downloading only, first you check in Eclipse what is there. According to that, download. Otherwise. So, if you use Tomcat latest, Eclipse also latest required. If you use Tomcat latest. But if you use Tomcat old, latest Eclipse also nothing will happen. But Tomcat is latest means Eclipse also latest required. Okay. In my system, Tomcat version 10.0 installed. That is the reason I'm selecting this one. Okay. Right. Select Tomcat version 10.0 server. Select Tomcat version 10.0 server. Select Tomcat version 10.0 server. After this, click on next button. 8th one. Click on next button. Click on next button. Click on next button. After that, you have to select Tomcat installation directory by clicking on browse button. Now, select Tomcat installation directory. Installation directory. By clicking on browse button. By clicking on browse button. Example. Select a Tomcat installation directory by clicking on browse button. See where Tomcat server installed, the location you have to select. By clicking on browse button, you have to select. Okay. See here, browse this PC, C drive, program files, Apache Software Foundation, Tomcat 10.0. This is you have to select. Now click on select a folder. Now Tomcat 10.0, select folder. Then this is a path it comes. This is the example I selected. Example, write this one. Select Tomcat installation directory by clicking on browse button. Example, this one. Select a Tomcat installation directory by clicking on browse button. Example, C drive, program files, Apache Software Foundation, Tomcat 10.0. So by default, Tomcat server installed in C drive, program files, Apache Software Foundation by default. If it is installed in other drive, if it is installed in other location, that path you select. Okay. In my system, C drive, program files, Apache Software Foundation place installed. In your system, maybe D drive, E drive, any other drive installed. That location select. Okay. Now, Tomcat 10.0, that location, Tomcat 10.0 or 10.1, whatever you selected, that location you select. After this, click on next button, click on finish button. Next, write it. 10th one, click on next button. 11th one, click on finish button. So to configure Tomcat server in Eclipse, these are the steps you need to follow. These are the steps you need to follow. First, you have to configure Solid's server. Then only you can write Solid program. Now Tomcat server connected to Eclipse. That configuration done. So click on next button, click on finish button. Now you can write programs. You can write Solid programs. This is only one time. This is one time only, daily not required. Okay. This is only one time required. Is it clear? This is you follow. Before writing Solid program only you follow. Now, whether your server is running or not properly, if you want to check, see here in the server's view, server configured. Server configured. If you want to check, now to start server, node, to start Tomcat server, to start Tomcat web server. Right click on Tomcat version 10.0 server at localhost. In a server's view. In a server's view. Click on start. To start Tomcat web server, right click on Tomcat version 10.0 server at localhost in a server's view. click on start. To start Tomcat web server, right click on Tomcat version 10.0 server at localhost. In a server's view, click on start. See, you configured, but before writing solid program only, you can check whether it is running or not. Okay, you can check it to start Tomcat web server. Now what you can do, you can select this one, right click, start. Now server is going to be started. See, server started. If you click console here, server startup in milliseconds. It is showing no 571 milliseconds. It is started. Very quickly started here. Okay. Now here server's view, here started message appears. Started. In a console view, this message appears. Server startup in milliseconds. That means your server is running. If you want to stop the server, again right click, stop. Now server stopped. See, server stopped. Here console, it shows some other message. Okay. Now same, just right click to stop. Write this one. To stop Tomcat web server, same, Control C, Control V. Right click, click on stop. Click on stop. To stop Tomcat web server, right click on Tomcat version server at localhost. In a server's view, click on stop. Is it over? See, these all you have to practice. Whatever I up to yesterday, that is understanding subject purpose I explained. Now this is you have to start. Okay. Now first, how to configure Tomcat server you studied. Next, how to start server, how to stop server. Suppose you started, but you got a one message dialog box 8088005880. That port number already in use. One dialog box may comes. In that situation, here, in that situation, what you have to do is you have to double click. Then here, port numbers you have to change. If you are getting error is related to port numbers, then these numbers appears. Then in a dialog box 80058082 already in use. One error message may comes. In that situation, if two port numbers it is showing in dialog box means two numbers to change. If one number it is showing means whichever is showing that is you change. And if it is running properly means don't change. Okay. If it is not running in that situation. So one dialog box comes. In a dialog box, these numbers it shows 8005, 8005, 8082 already in use. Already in use. One message comes already in use. Then you'll get one error message. In that situation, two port numbers you change. Suppose you are getting only one number 8005 already in use. Then only one port number you have to change. Suppose 800882 it is already in use. That number you change. So if error comes, then only change. Next, to change the port numbers. To change the port numbers. Double click on Tomcat version 10.0 server at localhost. Double click on Tomcat version 10.0 server at localhost. Double click on Tomcat version 10.0 server at localhost. Just move the horizontal scroll bar. Move the horizontal scroll bar. Then only port numbers appears. Otherwise, you maximize. Move the horizontal scroll bar. Tomcat admin port and HTTP/1.1 port. Change. Tomcat admin port. Just you try these numbers only. Tomcat admin port 8005. HTTP/1.1 port 80082. If not working, again you change. If it is error message related to port numbers, then only change. Okay. If it is related to port numbers. Say after changing, this is here. Suppose I'll change, what will happen? See, double click on Tomcat version 10.0 server at localhost. Move the horizontal scroll bar. Tomcat admin port 8005. HTTP/1.1 port 8082. I given these numbers in my system working. I'm going to continue. Suppose if I change 8080, it may not work in my system. I'll show you. Is it over? You see what I said, double click. First double click. After that, move the scroll bar, horizontal scroll bar. Here, suppose 8080, I'll write 8080. Then here, star symbol appears, no? You have to save. Now, here, file, save. Okay, after that, you have to save last. Click on file menu. Click on save. Click on file menu, click on save. Now if I run, what will happen? Just observe. Here, actually what was there? 8082 was there. I changed it to 8080. Now, if I run, start. In my system, that port number will not work. What we are getting, see? Port 8080 required by Tomcat version already in use. We are getting one error. 8080 already in use. That is the reason you change only that port number. Suppose you are getting two port numbers appears. Both are already in use. Then change both. While starting, you are not getting error. That is only continue. Okay. Now I have to change again. 8082. Now file menu, again save. Now if I start, it will start. See, server started. Okay. Now if it is showing in a dialog box two numbers, means change two numbers. If it is showing one number, means one number. That is each and every point I'm explaining, but still people are sending mails. This error coming, that error coming, this error coming, that error coming. That's what, if you listen with more concentration, you can follow properly. Each and every step I'm giving, each and every step you observe. Because JDBC also, many people, class not found exception, class not found exception. Class not found exception, when it will come? If that path is not there, driver path. But after writing also error coming. Then capital letter, small letter mistake also same error comes. But people are sending that screenshots error message. They won't observe also. At least you have to observe, no? Only one error message comes, no? They'll take a screenshot, they'll mail to my mail ID. Sunday, 100 mails nearly. But not only your batch, all batches. Every Sunday I'm giving replay. Every Sunday I'll give a replay. 100 mails nearly. That type. Maximum, very small mistakes only. First exception comes, you read that exception, you may understand also. But directly they'll take a screenshot, they'll mail to my mail ID. It's happening. Once you read, you may understand, you may solve that problem. You can try to, you can solve, that is possible. Okay. But first, people are not reading that line also. That is happening. After setting class path also, error coming means maybe oracle.jdbc.driver.oracle driver spelling mistake or capital letter, small letter mistake will be there. No? That is also same error comes. After setting class path also, driver class mistake is there. That class not found only comes again. Each and every line you have to observe. If you are unable to solve means you have to mail to my mail ID. But only error appears, no, they'll send. That is happening. Okay. You try to solve yourself also. Self-learning skills also required. Always no need to depend on faculty and lab faculty. So after joining in the company, will you ask to team leader? No. You have to learn. No. If any problem comes, you have to learn. Self-learning skills also required. That knowledge is also important. Self-learning skills also important for your career. Okay. So first you try to read that complete exception, try to solve. One time, two times you try to solve. Still you are not getting, mail to my mail ID, I'll give a reply definitely. Okay. But 1-2 times you read, you may understand. Okay. See here, if you are getting error message related to port numbers already in use, change the port number. If it is showing in the dialog box 2 numbers showing means change the 2 numbers. But the port number already given 1024 to 65,535. In between you have to write. That is free port numbers range. 1024 to 65,535. Any one number write. But still not working. Change the port number again. Again you change the port number because which are the port number already in use we cannot identify. In server, so many, not only server, in our system, many softwares will be there. Maybe that other software may be used already. That is the reason we cannot remember all. That's what, if you are getting error already in use means change the port number. That number also again error coming means again change. But if the number is not related to port number, if the error is not related to port number, then don't change port number. You read that error also. Only error comes, you change the port number, that is also mistake. Maybe that port number properly is there. Maybe other error also will be there. No? That error read. If you are getting message, it is related to port number, then only change port number. Maybe other errors also comes. Then don't change port number. You continue that one only. Okay. Then you read, try to understand. If you are unable to solve, then mail to my mail ID. I'll give a reply. Okay. But only Sundays I'll give a reply. Only Sundays. Because morning to evening, I'll be in 10 hours in Amirpet only myself also. Okay. Morning to evening, 5 batches I'll take. 10 hours I'll be in Amirpet classrooms only. Sundays only I'll give a reply. If you give a mail on Sunday also, Sunday will get it. If you give a mail on Monday also, Sunday will get it. Next Sunday. Like that. Okay. Now, that's what, if you listen, if you follow everything, if you follow, error will not come. You can solve easily. These are possible if you follow properly. Now, here I changed port numbers. Try to use these numbers only because these two numbers only better. Still these two numbers also error coming means make change again. Okay. Again do it 8083 or 8084 like that only, do it better. Okay. It is 80005, 8006 or 8007 like that. You try to change. This range is better. Okay. 1024 to 65,535. Any number you can use. After changing also again error coming means again port number related only means again change. Okay. Now, how to change port numbers also you have seen. Now I change it to again 8082. Okay. File save, already saved. Now I'll close. This is configuration of server. Okay. How to configure server you have seen. This one, each and every step I'm explaining, and today onwards you have to practice solids. So configuration of solid server, and how to start server, how to stop server, how to change the port number. Okay. Next, to create a web application folder structure. To create a web application folder structure. To create a web application folder structure. Online students, listen the class and write the notes. Your doubts I'll clarify end of the session. To create a web application folder structure. To create a web application folder structure. Here folder structure automatically created. No need to create by us. See. Next. Here file new dynamic web project. Write it. First step. Click on file menu. Click on new. Click on dynamic web project. To create a web application folder structure. To create a web application folder structure, first step, click on file menu. Second step, click on new. Third step, click on dynamic web project. Is it over? Say file new dynamic web project. This is. One minute. Now, say first click on file menu. Okay. File menu, new dynamic web project. This is click on file menu, click on new, click on dynamic web project. Here you will get on dialog box. Here project name. Example. Suppose first a basic programs I'll teach. Something project name I'll write basics. Now, note on. Type project name. Type project name. Example basics. Whatever you want, you can write. I'm writing basics. Type project name. Examples. Example basics. Now, after that, here by default, these all will be there. No, those all don't change. If you want learning purpose, you'll change. You check it. Here default location. Our programs are going to be stored in this location. Tomcat version 10.0, module version 5.0, Solid version that is. These all by default, it will take automatically. Those settings only continue. For understanding purpose, if you want to read, you change whatever you want, you can do it. After that, click on next button. You observe here .java .class separate created automatically. So click on next button. Again, click on next button. Click on next button. Again, click on next button. See here, next. Here, you observe XML file automatically generated. Generate web.xml deployment descriptor. Select the checkbox. Select generate web.xml deployment descriptor checkbox. Select generate web.xml deployment descriptor checkbox. Click on finish button. Now, web application folder structure created, XML file, default file created. This all will be done at a time. To create a web application folder structure, click on file menu, click on new, click on dynamic web project, type project name, whatever you want. For example, basics, click on next, again, click on next, select this XML file checkbox, click on finish. Is it over? See, click on finish. Select this, click on finish. Now it is created. See here, basics. This folder structure created. See here. Like this, all created. Here, see, webinf, lib, XML, webinf, lib folder, XML, see Java, these are SRC, these are all created, automatically created. This is complete web application folder structure. It is created. Now it is automatically created. This is dynamic web project folder structure creation. Next, how to write solid. To write solid program. To write solid program. To write solid program, first step. Right click on basics. In a project explorer, right click on basics in a project explorer. Right click on basics in a project explorer. Click on new. Click on solid. Click on new. Click on solid. Right click on basics in a project explorer. Click on new. Click on solid. See, right click, new, here. You observe solid, listener, filter, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, JSP, these all appears. Okay. Select server, solid. Now, after this, click on solid. This get a dialog box. Here on package name, whatever you want, you can write, and class name, whatever you want, you can write. Type Java package. Type Java package. Example, same I am writing basics. Another name also you can write. Type class name. Type class name. Example, I am writing first solid. Type Java package. Example, basics. Type class name. Example, first solid. Type Java package. Example, basics. Type class name. Example, first solid. Here, whatever you want, you can write. Here also, whatever you want, you can write. Now, I'll write basics. I'll write first solid. Here, you observe, it is asking superclass. By default, HTTP solid comes, but till I didn't explain HTTP solid. I explained generic solid. That's what I'll write generic solid. Okay. Present, I'll write generic solid. Actually, HTTP solid is recommended. After 3-4 programs, I'll make it HTTP solid. I'll explain what's the difference. You should know generic solid, HTTP solid. What's the difference also? Okay. First, here superclass. I'll go for Type superclass. Type superclass. Example, Jakarta dot solid dot generic solid. Type superclass. Example, Jakarta dot solid dot generic solid. Type superclass. Example, Jakarta dot solid dot generic solid. So by default, HTTP solid comes. I'm going to change to generic solid. After teaching generic solid, HTTP solid differences, I'll continue HTTP solid at the time. But till I didn't explain, that is the reason I'll change. If you are using Tomcat 9, then what you are right here? Java X. Tomcat 9 is there, Java X. Tomcat 10 onwards is there, Jakarta. Okay. Here I'll make it. This is generic solid. Okay. Generic solid. See Jakarta dot solid dot generic solid. After this, click on next button. Next, write it. Click on next button. Click on next button. Click on next button. After clicking on next button, here it is asking URL pattern. This is URL pattern. URL pattern also for solid comes. If you want, you can change. So to change the here by default, this one comes. You can select this one. You can click on edit. You can change. Suppose first solid URL pattern previously what I given test. That is all right. Okay. To change the URL pattern. To change the URL pattern, select first solid in URL mappings. In URL mappings box. And click on edit button. And click on edit button. Type /test. To change the URL pattern, select /first solid in URL mappings box and click on edit button. To change the URL pattern, select /first solid in URL mappings box and click on edit button. Type /test. By default, same solid class name, whatever is there, that is. So is it over? See here, select this, click on edit, type /test. Click on OK button, click on next button. Click on OK button, click on next button. Click on OK button, click on next button. Now here actually this interface not required, already generic solid inverted. That's what it is by default came. You can remove this. Select the Java X. It is Java X came, you observe. That is sometimes it will come like this only. We have to remove. Select Java X dot solid interface in interfaces box. And click on remove button. It is actually not required. If it is comes, try remove. If it is not coming, continue normal. Select Java X.Solid interface in interfaces box and click on remove button. If it comes, remove. Otherwise, not required this step. That is sometimes maybe it's happened while installing, uninstalling this type. It may be happened. Now I removed. Now see by default here service method selected, and these are optional. Total how many methods in solid interface? 5. See 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you extend generic solid, how many method mandatory? 1. That is service. That's what that is came by default. Now that is no need to change. Just after that, click on finish button. Click on finish button. Click on finish button. Suppose further what will happen? Init destroy also record some application. Then we have to select. Present, you click on finish button. See, finish. Now this solid program generated. You observe. So class name, constructor, these all by default automatically generated. Now here throws exception also comes. So now what we have to do? We have to write print writer. Already know print writer pw equal to here at the time I written res, but now you cannot write res because already the reference came response. Either write response or you change res here. But here response is there. If you write res, it doesn't work. Now response dot get writer. Now pw dot println. Welcome to solids. This is no need to write. Now here control shift to O. Print writer imported. See all imported, whatever required. Okay. With shortcut key imported. See what I written, only 2 lines are written. Remaining automatically generated. XML also generated already. So last step, write the solid code. Example, print writer pw equal to response dot get writer. pw dot println. Welcome to solids. Write the solid code. Now try catch also not required because already throws came, no? It is overridden. Throws solid exception, IO exception already came. Either try catch or throws, any one required. So already throws is there. Print writer pw equal to response dot get writer pw dot println. Welcome to solids. Only this code we written. After this, you have to run this one. How to run? Next, to run the above application. To run the above application. To run the above application. To run the above application, right click on basics in a project explorer. Click on run as. Click on run as. Next, click on run on server. To run the above application, right click on basics in a project explorer. click on run as, click on run on server. To run the above application, right click on basics in a project explorer. Click on run as, click on run on server. Is it over? So right click on basics in a project explorer, run as, run on server now, not Java application. See, right click, run as, run on server. Now it will ask to save that file, firstservlet.java. Click on save button. Next, write it. Click on save button. Next, expand localhost. Expand localhost. Expand localhost. So localhost appears, no, that is your expand. Here all servers which are configured, it shows. Select Tomcat version 10.0 server at localhost. Select Tomcat version 10.0 server at localhost. Click on next button. Click on next button. Select Tomcat version 10.0 server at localhost. Click on next button. So you have to expand localhost. If you expand localhost, in this localhost, what are the servers configured? All servers it shows. We configured only one. That's what it is showing, one. Select that. Click on next button. If you click on next button, here available, which are available, it shows. Which are going to be configured, it shows. Now, if here present only one application we written, it is JDBC programs. It is not comes under here. Like this, what are the applications you written? All appears here. Whatever you want, you can move. That is configured, deployed. Whatever you don't want, here buttons will be enabled automatically. If many are there, enabled. From year to year, you can select add. From year to year, select remove. Here add all. All will be added here. All will be removed here. These all buttons enabled after writing. Suppose if I select here this one, see, but this is you cannot remove because this is current application we are running. Other applications are there. You can select, you can remove. It shows these buttons automatically enabled. Now click on finish button. Okay. Now click on finish button. Write it. Click on finish button. Next. Click on OK button. Click on finish button. Click on OK button. Click on finish button. Click on OK button. See OK button. Now server is going to be started. Up to var file name automatically comes. See, up to basics automatically came. Now after basics, what is the URL pattern? Type URL pattern test. Welcome to solids. Now last step, type URL pattern test in address bar. Example, HTTP localhost 8082/basics already came. Test step, type test. Type URL pattern test in address bar. Example, HTTP :/localhost 8082 basics appears. You type only test. Remaining appears automatically. Type URL pattern test in address bar. Is it over? Now, this program now executed. You have seen output here. Welcome to Solids. Now, I don't want, this is what, which browser open? See, Microsoft Edge. I don't want this browser. I want other browser. See how to change the browser. Window menu, browser, web browser. Here you can select the browsers. See Chrome also, default system web browser, Firefox, whatever installed, it shows. Internal web browser means Eclipse browser. See, next write that one also. To change the web browsers. To change the web browser, if you want to change the browser, click on window menu. Click on window menu. Click on web browser. Click on, otherwise select 1 minute. Window menu, web browser, select internal web browser, suppose. Select internal web browser. That's it. To change the browser, whatever you want, you can select. Like this, you can select. Like here, I give an internal web browser. Suppose you want Chrome, select Chrome. You want Internet Explorer, select Internet Explorer. You want Firefox, select Firefox. See, window, web browser, internal web browser. Now if I run, output here only displayed. See, right click, run on server. Localhost, expand, Tomcat, next, finish. See, here only displayed. It is the internal Eclipse browser. In Eclipse, only one browser is there, that browser. Here type test. Say, welcome to Solids. In Eclipse, only output. Okay. This is only server. This is only browser. Here only program. Everything here only. Complete environment here only. That is only integrated development environment. Now, like this, all configurations are given. Okay. Now, suppose you written Eclipse program like this, you written program, but it is showing error. These all errors showing, suppose. These all errors showing. Every import statement error. Here class also generic Solid error. This Solid also error. This service also error. Solid request error. Solid response error. All errors only appearing, suppose. In that situation, here right click, build path, configure build path, class path, add external jars, C drive, program files, Apache Software Foundation, Tomcat 10.0, lib, solid-api.jar. That is, you have to select. Then all errors will be vanished. This one you have to attach. That is also, I'll show you. Write it. Because sometimes errors may comes, then Eclipse may not recognize in that situation. To add solid-api.jar file to web application. To add solid-api.jar file to web application. First step, right click on basics in a project explorer. Right click on basics in a project explorer. If you are getting all many errors, every line, every library showing error, in that situation, this one. To add solid-api.jar file to web application, right click on basics in a project explorer. click on build path, click on configure build path. Click on build path. Click on configure build path. Click on build path. Click on configure build path. Say right click, build path, configure build path. Here libraries. Click on libraries tab. Click on class path. Click on libraries tab. Click on class path. Click on class path. Next, click on add external jars button. Select Solid API .jar file from the following location. Program files, Apache Software Foundation, Tomcat version 10.0, lib. Select solid-api.jar file from the following location. Select solid-api.jar file from the following location. C drive, program files, Apache Software Foundation, Tomcat 10.0, lib. So in this location, that Solid's library will be there. If Solid library not configured, that error may comes. And after configuring server, if you write Solid, that error will not come. Even if it is comes, you try to follow this one. Okay, in that situation, no need to uninstall Eclipse. Just open solid-api.jar file for your application, add. It works. Actually, what you have to do, first you have to configure server. After that, you have to write Solid program. Suppose without configuring server, you written Solid program. Then error comes definitely. In that situation, again, if you try to change also, it is not possible. Otherwise, you have to change the Eclipse workspace. Workspace you can change. If you are unable to change, means use this. Then it works. Now, class path, add external jars, C drive, program files, Apache Software Foundation, Tomcat 10, lib, solid-api.jar. Click on open button, click on apply button, click on apply and close button. Next. Click on open button. Click on apply button. Click on apply and close button. Click on apply button. Click on apply and close button. See, if you are getting error related to Solid Live API, that means generic Solid error, Solid request error, Solid response error, Solid's library given, no? That type error comes, you add this. See, first what we did, server configured. Server, once the server is configured, this file will be there. But without configuring server, you return solid program. Definitely errors comes. In that situation, later if you configure server also, it cannot recognize. It cannot recognize Eclipse. In that situation, no need to uninstall Eclipse, no need to uninstall Tomcat. Just you follow these steps, it works. If you are getting Solid library error, okay? Like this, now already working, that's what I'll cancel. This is, okay? See, these all steps I given. To configure Tomcat server in Eclipse, these steps, 11 steps. To start Tomcat server, to stop Tomcat server, to change the port number, to create a web application folder structure, to write Solid program, and to run the above application, to change the web server, browser, to add Solid API. So each and everything I explained. Okay, each and every step I given. These many steps I given. Now, each and everything you written now, just you observe. Second program I'll write. Now no need to write, just you observe. Now in a 2 minutes, 3 minutes only it will complete. You written note, that's what this much time it has taken. Okay. Now if you write a program just by clicking only, very quickly it will finish. You observe. Now you observe. Just in a 2 minutes only one application will complete very quickly because web application folder structure already created. One more Solid here only can write. One more application also not required. Possible. See what you can do. Right click. New. Just listen. Listen with more concentration. Already you written notes. You written notes. Just you observe. Okay. Right click. New. Solid. Okay. Here. Java package. Example basics. Next. Second Solid. Okay. Second Solid. Here. Generic Solid. Okay. Generic Solid. Click on next. Here change the URL pattern. Second. Second. Click on OK. Click on next. Now this one select remove. Next. Click on finish. Over. Here. See print writer. PW equal to response dot get writer. PW dot println. Suppose welcome to Naresh Technologies. Okay. Now for this, if you want to add HTML tags, HTML open body BG color. Suppose red, text yellow, level 1 heading. This is opening, closing. H1 close, body close, HTML close. Okay. Now print writer not imported. Control Shift O, imported. Okay. See imported. Print writer imported. Over. Now writing is completed. You can run. Right click. Run on server. Save. Select the server. Click on next. Click on finish. Restart the server. Here. What is the URL pattern? Second. Over. 2 minutes also not completed. No? Very quickly finished. Like this. So, but without Eclipse, how much process you observe? Without Eclipse, with Eclipse. Actually, this topic converts Eclipse usage. But up to JDBC, that much difference will not appear. But without Eclipse, this program is very complicated. No? Here already saw XML also generated, you observe. See. XML also generated here. See. See. Solid name, whatever I given. See. Second Solid, first Solid. Both are generated. XML we didn't write one line also. One line also we didn't write, no? Generate web.xml. That is generated. Okay. Dynamic web project folder structure created. So this is the reason Eclipse required. But up to previous topic, Eclipse not much important, not much difference. Up to previous topic, JDBC. But from here onwards, you have seen manually how you developed, you have seen. Manually, first we created folders. Later we written Solid. Later we written XML. Later we created war file. Later we deployed. Later we send request through browser. These all in a 2 minutes it is completed here very quickly. Okay. So that is the reason companies are using Eclipse. Rapid application development is possible. But core Java only if you learn with Eclipse, what will happen? Subject you will not understand. Interaction not possible. Suppose now while teaching core Java more interaction required. Suppose A OB equal to new B. Is it valid or not valid? If I ask in Eclipse, see directly error mark appears. No? Seeing that line, error or not error, you can understand. So interaction is not possible. That's the reason core Java without Eclipse you have to learn. After core Java, advanced Java nodes you have to learn Eclipse. Like that. But core Java starting session, welcome program onwards, if you learn Eclipse, main method line also you may forget. Because that is generated by system. No? Public static void main, that line also you may forget. Try catch blocks also you may forget. How to write also. That problem comes. That is the reason in core Java without Eclipse I taught. Okay. Here, Solid onwards compulsory you have to use Eclipse only. Otherwise, more time it will take. Okay. Core Java here, while writing program only, while typing only compiled here. Interaction is not possible. In core Java, more interaction required. While teaching, more interaction required. Valid or not valid, valid or not valid. If it is in Eclipse, immediately error comes there. Then immediately will respond. That is valid or not valid. Okay, see, without seeing that error line only, you'll think it's the error. That's it. But why it is error, they won't give you answer. But error they'll give. That interaction not possible. That is the reason core Java without Eclipse I taught. Advanced Java onwards, Eclipse you have to use. See, this is second program. Okay. Now, other programs we'll see now. This program already written. No? This is no need to write. Already written. Now, my task is one Solid program I'll write. This Solid program, how many times accessed? I want to count the number of views. For example, YouTube video. How many views are there? It shows no. That count. That count will never decrease. No. Count will never decrease. Maybe constant. If they don't use, constant. And if they use, it increased. That type I want to display. One message I want to display. This page has been accessed. 10 times, 20 times that information. Very first time I'll send. One time it has to show. Second time I'll send. 2 times. Third time, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, like that. That count I want to display. First of all, count to variable required. One count to variable required. After that, count plus required. Count to variable required. Count to variable. Count, you already studied how many types of variables are there in Java? 3 types. What are those? Instance variable, class variable, local variable. 3 types of variables are there. Okay. See. Here. Right click, new, Solid. Now, basics. Solid name, suppose counter Solid. Extends generic Solid. Next, here URL pattern, suppose count. Okay. Next, here this is I'll remove. Next, finish. Now, suppose one count variable, integer count equal to 0, count plus. I'll write. Now, this is instance variable or class variable or local variable. Now, this variable, instance variable or class variable or local variable. You give an instance variable also, local variable also. Which one is right? Which one? Local variable. Anybody class variable also is there? See, if the variable inside a method Inside a method means local. It is local variable. If I write local variable, will you get a count? Think yourself. Will you get it or not? Think yourself and give me answer. Now already service method concept you studied. If I write integer count equal to 0, count plus plus. What will be happen? Think yourself and give me answer. Will you get a count value exactly or not? Properly get it or not? Yes or no? Why no? When service method called? For every request. First request comes, it is called. Count is 0. Then it will become 1. Again request comes. Again what will happen? Again 0. Again 1. Always 1 only shows. Always 1 only. That's what local variable is wrong. Which variable required? Instance variable. Suppose I'll write here integer count equal to 0. This is which variable? Instance variable. When memory allocated? When memory allocated? Whenever object is created. Whenever object is created. This class object is created whenever first request comes. Whenever first request comes, object created. Then memory allocated. Second request onwards, only service method called. So first request time only count equal to 0. Then count to plus plus. Second request directly count plus plus. So it is 2, 3, 4, 5 like that will be there. So which variable required? Instance variable. If I write class variable, will it work or not? Will it work or not? No? Sure. When this class variable memory allocated? Whenever class is loaded. When class will be loaded? Very first time only loaded. Now class variable also works. In this situation, instance variable, class variable, no, not much difference in this program. Not all situations. Because this variable of memory also only one time allocated. That variable you can use. Count plus plus. It works. Now, instance variable, best option. Class variable also works. Here, object also created only one time. Class variable, class also loaded only one time. That's what works. Count equal to 0, count plus plus. I want to print. How to print? Can I write system.out.println? No. System.out.println, if you write, it will not display in browser. Output displayed in server. Okay. Here in Eclipse, server will be the server console. If you write system.out.println, output comes here, not in browser. That's what you should not write system.out.println here. What you have to write? Print writer PW equal to response dot get writer. Next, PW dot println. This page has been accessed. Count to times. Will it display count value? What it will display? Count to times only displayed. But count is a variable, no? Then what do you have to do? If I write count here, If I write count, will it display count value? No. What it will display? Count times only displayed. What we have to do? Double quotes plus concatenation plus double quotes. Okay. Now count value displayed. Now Control Shift to O. Now this one plain text displayed. If you want to add HTML, you can add HTML body BG color. Suppose blue, text suppose yellow, level 1 heading. Okay. pw.println level 1 heading body HTML. Okay, like this. Now here integer count equal to 0. Whenever first request comes, okay, then count to value 0, and it is service method called 1. Then 1 time it shows. When second request comes, count plus plus 2 times, 3 times, like this it shows. Okay. Right click, run on server, save. Here count. See, this page has been accessed 1 time. Again, I'll run. Count 2 times. If I refresh, will you get a 3 or 2? If I refresh, 2 or 3. So in internet, you refresh many times, but give me answer. Refresh also, one more request passed, you will get a response. Refresh also, one more request passed, you will get a 3. See, 3. See, refresh also, one more request passed client to server. Now 22 times. Right click. Now run on server. Now 23 times comes. Okay, this is count. See, just a 2 lines program. Integer count equal to 0, count plus plus. YouTube count will be the no. That is this is only. This program, note down. This one, if you write like this, it will take many lines. What I will do is, instead of like this, just I'll make it star. Okay. Instead of writing each and every individual import, star. Then these are not required. Unnecessary comments, unnecessary lines, which are not compulsory, I'll remove. Now, these are compulsory, right? For example, this is counting. Program to count the number of views. Solid program to count the number of views. Solid program to count the number of views. Solid program to count the number of views. While writing Eclipse, import statement individually comes. That is only continue. Don't make it star. For writing notes purpose, star I'm saying. Okay, individual only better actually. But daily, if you write individual, it takes more time. That's the reason star I'm giving. But in Eclipse, you continue individual only. Individual import only better. Solid program to count the number of views. Okay. Just 3 programs you studied, basics. Tomorrow, some more basic programs I'll explain. Solid program to count the number of views. Is it over? We'll see continuation tomorrow. Online students, Neeraj Kumar. You practice Eclipse. You practice Eclipse. Configuration Shweta Singh. Yeah. Glassfish server also. Any server we can use. Sunil. Third program, no, that is. Sakshi, already given how to download Eclipse. You can check it notes. Apparao. Yeah, I'll share the notes in Google Classroom. Neeraj, either Eclipse update or Tomcat old version you can take. Pooja, I uploaded notes. You can check it. Devyani, yeah, you can learn Spring also parallelly, possible. Navneet Singh, port is a identification of